Unit 8, Lesson 2, Statistical Questions. So you can tell statistical questions from non-statistical questions and that you can explain the difference. You can tell when data has variability. So 10 sixth grade students were at a school were asked 5 survey questions. Their answers to each question are shown here. So they're giving you different questions and you have to decide which data set it would come from. So if I'm looking at it, I know that flip a coin 10 times, how many heads do you get? Well, that's going to be between half and either a little over or a little under. So I'm going to say data set C. Would help if I had my drawing tool on. I'm going to say data set C, and my reason is it's close to half, so close to 5 for each number. Because you're likely to get heads and tails 50% of the time, so 5 out of 10 times. How many books did you read last year? Okay, so if I wanted to pick a data set for how many books I read last year, I would hope it is an A, because that's just 0, 1, 2, and 3. B, that's 12. Well, not everybody read the same books or read the same number of books. I've already used data set C. Data set D is all 6. Data set E, 3, 7, 9, 11. Yeah, that makes sense for books. So I'm going to go with E. And I'm going to say the reason is people read different numbers of books. Okay, the next one says, what grade are you in? Well, you guys are all in the same grade and you're all in 6th grade, so that's got to be data set D. We're all in 6th grade. Because it says 10 6th grade students, so I know that they all had to be in 6th grade. Then how many dogs and cats do you have? Well, my options are left. I've used C, I've used E, I've used D, so I'm stuck between A and B. Well, not everybody's going to have the same number of dogs and cats, and that seems like a lot of dogs and cats if I pick 12. So I'm going to say A. And the reason I'm going to say that is because 0, 1, and 2, and 3 are typical numbers of pets. So typical numbers of pets. Then how many inches are in 1 foot? Well, there are 12 inches in 1 foot. That's not even a question. So it has to be data set B. Because, and the reason is 12 inches is correct. Answer. So then it says, how are questions 3 and 5 different from the other questions? Well, 3 had all 6s and 5 had all 12s. So how are they different? They had the same numbers. For all students. All right, so then it says, what makes a statistical question? So examples of statistical questions are, what is the common color of cars in the school parking lot? What percentage of all students have a cell phone? What kind of literature, fiction or nonfiction, is more popular among students at school? So how are the statistical questions alike? Well, they're asking about lots of different people because it says among students. It's asking students and it's asking cars. So it's asking about more than one. So how are they alike? It asks about more than one person. Okay, so then what is the color of the principal's car? So that's only one person. What does Alina have a cell phone? That's one person. And what kind of literature, fiction or nonfiction, does Diego prefer? So that's just one person. So how are the three non-statistical questions alike? They only ask about one person. So statistical questions ask about more than one person. Non-statistical questions ask about only one person. So how can you find the answers to statistical questions? Well, I'd have to ask a lot of people. So I could do like a survey, kind of like a Google form. So I'd have to survey. How can you find the answers to non-statistical questions? Well, I would just go ask the person. All right, so then it says, what makes a statistical question? So statistical questions, you ask many people and they can give many answers. So like when you go back up and you look at your data questions and you were looking at data set B and data set D, well, those, you had the same number, so you couldn't really come up with different answers. So those really aren't statistical questions. Those are just yes or no, right or wrong. Whereas data sets A, C, and E, you could get different answers based on the question they asked. So now they want us to determine if it's a statistical question and if variability is expected. So is the question statistical? So how many cups of water do my classmates drink each day? Well, is there variability? Variability means having different values. So I would say yes, because I don't know that everybody drinks the same amount. So is the question statistical? Yes. So where in town does our math teacher live? Well, I live in New Bern, and I live in a particular house in New Bern and on a particular street. So is variability expected? Well, no, because I'm your math teacher and there's only one answer. So you're only asking one person. So is this question statistical? No. How many minutes does it take students in my class to get ready for school in the morning? Well, for some of you, you put on makeup and you do your hair really nice and you pick out special clothes. So, and then some of you, you're kind of more low key and you just kind of come on out, you're dressed, you're clean, you're ready to go. So I would say yes. So is this question statistical? Yes. Because we would have different numbers and we would have to ask a lot of different people. How many minutes of recess do sixth grade students have each day? Well, I don't want you to consider like Miss Steele, Mr. Holloman, me, Miss Wall, and Miss Morelli, because we all kind of come out at the same time every day, but we all kind of come out at different times. I want you to think about more like about what time do we all come out. So is there variability in the data? No, because we all come out between 3 and 3:10. So is the question statistical? No, because we all come out about the same time. Do all students in my class know what the month is? Well, I would hope you all do know that it's the month of April. So is there variability expected in the data? No. So is the question statistical? No. Okay, so now you're going to do an IXL objective. It's going to be on statistical questions. And I'd like you to take a full screenshot that shows your score and the name of the objective. Then I would like you to go on IXL, or I would like you to go on Canvas and do your cool down for Unit 8, Lesson 2. Have a great day.